What are some of the most surprising principles that you've learned over the years, things that really take people aback?
Well, that life works almost the opposite than the way you believe it works. That the things that you think are good are often bad for you. Almost always, or quite often, the first order consequences of things like, I feels good, it makes me happy, I don't want to argue, I don't want to deal with the challenges, I want to avoid the pain, that whole litany of things that you would say, that's going to bring you a happy life kind of thing. The second order consequences are more often the opposite than the first order consequences. I mean, it just so I don't know, the foods you eat, the ones that taste good, are probably the ones that aren't the ones that you should be eating or something. So now when you start to realize that life is almost a trick, okay? It's almost a trick. Okay, are you going to go for the first order consequences or the second order consequences? Or I don't want to argue, or I don't want to, or the whole ego thing. Okay, I want to feel good because I want to feel good about myself because I don't want to discuss whether I have those weaknesses. On and on and on. Okay, is radical truthfulness a good thing or a bad thing? I look at this. You know, like I say, oh, look, all we're doing is being truthful and transparent. What's the problem with this? Like, okay, you're being truthful? So, but then people, you ask them, what's the problem? Or do you want to know what your weaknesses are? And you ask them, what's the problem? Okay, it's always that's not healthy. So many aspects of life are more actually the opposite convention. Like comfort, it's comfortable. Well, look, life teaches you over and over again. You want to get stronger? Okay, it's not comfortable. You want, okay? So stronger does not go with necessarily comfortable. Pain, okay? Pain plus reflection equals progress. Pain is a teacher. You want to eliminate pain from your life? You're going to have a better life? No, because it's giving you messages, okay? So many different things are the opposite of what we're taught. And it goes down to even the education system, okay? You failed. Hey, that's the beginning of a discovery process. That's a good thing, okay? Okay, now how do I look at failure and learn from failure? No, you're stupid, you failed. Struggle well, or tough love, okay? I put those words together because that exemplifies the fact that people don't think they go together. And so if you start to realize struggling well is what will get you what you want, okay, rather than avoiding struggle, that's what I'm trying to convey. And so if you realize that, then you will go to the struggle. You won't be averse to the struggle. Because if you don't struggle, you won't get stronger, okay? So struggling well, go above it, you know? Okay, struggling well, a big element is to go above your struggle, just like you did. You look back and say, okay, am I struggling well? Rather than be in it and doing those things. So there are a lot of different ways of how to struggle well, but if you know, okay, that struggling is a good thing. Okay, if you want to be strong, it's a good thing. I'll give you another example. I have a saying. If you worry, you don't have to worry. And if you don't worry, you have to worry. Okay? Because what I mean is, if you're worrying about what can go wrong, chances are you will create the protections against that thing going wrong, and therefore that's good. And if you're not worrying about the things that are going to go wrong, then now probably the things you never expect are going to come and hit you. Okay? And so it sounds counterintuitive. If you worry, you don't have to worry. And if you don't worry, you better worry. But what it means is that process of, okay, go to the thing, go to it, and enjoy it. View these things as puzzles. Your personality will change. You'll enjoy it. Okay? because life is a puzzle. It's a going through the jungle, okay? My son in 2014 gave me a book by Joseph Campbell called Hero of a Thousand Faces. And basically he described that these things happen, you know, everybody crashes, and then you're faced with that crash. And you either have an epiphany or you don't. You either walk off the field and say, hey, I don't want to do this anymore, and you give up on that, going after your audacious goals, or you gain really humility. You know, how do you feel that you're going to be wrong? And so I think then that whole notion is, you know, to come back with the finding the smartest people I could find who disagree with me. Also, I'm in the investment management business that you have to bet against the consensus. Otherwise, you can't make money because it's in the price. And you have to bet against the consensus and be right. Or as an entrepreneur, I'm an entrepreneur. I had to bet against the consensus and be right. And so to gain that humility was the thing. So you either get off the field or you learn, right? One of the big choices in life is savor life or accomplish. Like, we have a lot of choices in our lives, and they're almost sort of mutually exclusive sometimes. You know, I want to go to the ball game, and I want to watch a movie, and I want to do that, and I just want to sit back and on a nice day and smell the roses. Okay. Simultaneously, I want to change the world. Okay. I want to change the world, and I've got this. Or the work-life balance question, and all of those. We face those types of choices, right? So it's really important to go above oneself and to reflect on that. And also, by the way, to realize that the choices are not, you're approaching the choice wrong when you often see it as kind of that trade-off, because the truth is you can have a lot more life and you can have a lot more if you just know how to get more out of a minute. How much do I get per minute, or how much do I get per hour? We do all have to face our choices, but to also realize that you can expand how much life you're going to get out of life and how at that range if you really do it well. So there are those choices. Which are those choices? And we face them, and then you have to decide how to do them well. The reason I discovered it accidentally, is because I got in the habit that I suggest you get into and other people get into. And that is, whenever you're in a situation where you're making a decision, important decision, just pause and write down, what type of decision was it, and why did I make that decision that way? That's writing down your principles. It's kind of your recipe for success. And we could talk about it. And then every time I'm in a situation, I'll write down, why did I make that decision? And we could look at those criteria. Did that make sense to do that decision that way? Would you have different criteria? And so on. And you do that over a period of time, okay? And then you have your principles. And then, so they're just your reasons for making your decisions and what matters to you, right? Because then life becomes easier, because it's not all these bits and pieces. Okay, it's another one of those. It gives you an equanimity, and like a ninja. Okay, it's another one of these coming at me. Okay, and how do I approach this? And then you can have a conversation. It's just reality. How should you deal with that reality? And if you do that, then you think in a whole different way. Okay, you just want to get to the best way to deal with your realities.